gig line, and I hope the time you invest with me today truly serves your success. I have had Sharon Adashek with me today talking about the importance of birthdays as a ritual to setting goals for the next phase of your life. And from that perspective, I want you to know that books have been an integral part of our conversations together over the years, because it's an integral part of the work that I do in positive psychology. And one book in particular, A Curious Mind, came up in conversation over lunch recently. And A Curious Mind has got a very famous author associated with it. And
Brian Grazer.
Brian, yes. So we started this conversation, and the reason this book entered my life, it came through Super Soul Sunday, so it makes sense that the concept of spirituality, and I immediately bought it. And from the time that I bought the book, I was using it with male clients instantly. The reason is another book that is the Bible of positive psychology, Character, Strengths, and Virtues, is the book that tells you about the 24 values that when a society has them, they actually flourish. So when the individuals within a society show the basis of these 24 values, the society actually flourishes. And that was a piece of research that went back 5,000 years. Now, mostly only I care about that part. What my clients care about is, what do my values in action look like when I put them in action in my life? And in comes walking a book like The Curious Mind. So curiosity is one of the 24 values. And curiosity is what would make someone like you want to go on a walk.
Exactly.
And discover a new aspect. So know that in this book, and curiosity, as we've spoken about it, it's that habit of actually, when we think about the conversation we had about savoring, curiosity is a part of that, where you just, instead of having to know the answers, which as a society we have been trained that we're supposed to show up knowing the answers, we step back and we enter every relationship from the standpoint of, what is the best question I could ask to learn the most? So, are you afraid what I'm going to ask?
I am afraid.
You are afraid.
What are you going to ask me? What is the question I'm going to seek on the El Camino?
Yeah. What would a question look like? It doesn't have to be the question. What would a question look like?
How is my life going?
How is your life going?
Am I doing everything that I want to do?
Okay.
Is there something that's missing? And I feel like there are some things that are missing.
Okay.
I feel like I'm at an amazing point in my life, but I also feel as though there's so much more I want to do.
Correct.
So I think I am a little stuck right now.
Yeah.
So I think I think going on the El Camino will really open that up for me.
Great.
And I think it will free me of whatever it is that is holding me back right now.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the good news and the bad news. Yes, will an experience like walking the Camino, something that you very intentionally set, will that have an impact on your life? Absolutely. And?
It will not be all the answers, and it will not, obviously, from how she's asking me, do exactly what I was hoping it would do.
Right.
But I know that it's going to be an amazing time with a friend.
Correct.
And even though I do have some expectations that, light will shine through, I know that's not going to happen.
Right.
But hopefully I will have some clarity.
Right.
And I think connecting with nature and being out there for 11, 12 days
Right.
will open that up for me.
Okay.
So I know it's not all the answers,
Right.
but I'm hoping, and I know I am stuck, which is half the problem of being stuck. So I know what I want to do is just getting me to the next step.
Okay. And one of the things that Brian Grazer did in this book, there's many things about this book is why I use it in my work, and particularly with males. The work instructs you from the very beginning.
What if you could save animals and money?
How he was on one career path, and it was a chance meeting that allowed him to be told, get a pencil, get a piece of paper, and write it down. And he evolved himself from his career and doing the tasks of a particular job, I believe it was legal, into becoming a storyteller, where he's grounded his entire life. Now, not everyone wants to be a producer of phenomenal Academy Award-winning movies. You know, in our dreams, we may want to do that. Everybody in the audience is raising their hands. Yes, that's a wonderful dream. But actually, it may not be suited for everyone. But what is suited for everyone, and what we know, is a grounding to help get unstuck. Write down your stories. Write down your thinking. When I started my Don't Die book series, I actually started them with the entire purpose for a book to be read in 45 minutes to tell a true story, and end it with a journal, so that the only reason a person even read the book was so that they would begin to write their own story. Any story I put in that book, Brian's story, whatever you come off the Camino with, those are lovely. Those can spark us. But until we do the personal writing for ourselves and begin to see how we think about ourselves, and we start shifting our own perspectives, it really does not make a difference. And so I would urge you, become curious about your life. Wake up every morning, and what I would love to see you do on the Camino is like pick a question, like every morning, start the day with, what question will I ask today? And
so
then
you're buying me a journal for my birthday?
Yeah. I want you to know that is a very funny thing that you would say that, because I had a client for many, many years, and she actually became part of, and she actually is the reason I created the Don't Die book series. The very first book, which you can get for free on my website, servingsuccess.com, the book is called Don't Die, with vacation time on the books. And my client at that time, Meryl, called me up and she said, we have to make a promise that we will not die with vacation time on the books. And that's all part of the story. But the funny part that isn't in the book that has to do with the journals is every birthday I would show up at our birthday lunches and I would bring a journal to Meryl. And one year when I gave her the journal, it was just like, really? Another journal? And I said, well, I figured if I give you enough of them, at some point you're actually going to open the book. So yes, you will be getting a journal.
Okay.
Yes, you will be getting a journal. Okay. Now, the other thing that was really intriguing about this book, yes, I use it with men. Whenever a man tells a story, I find it very helpful, because believe it or not, whereas you will buy my books and you will buy any one of the books sitting on this table and we'll go out to lunch and have a conversation, that is not a thing that men in business tend to do. So when I stumble upon books that is about how a man crafted a phenomenally successful career doing the exact same things that many versions of psychology, and specifically positive psychology, tells you to do, then I glom onto it. And in this, that attribute, he had a wonderful, the way many of the stories in the book came from a 35-year commitment. Now, he had access, and I am not going to permit you to use that as an excuse that you are not him and you can't get access to people, because in your world you can get access if you ask. Maybe someone will say no. The job is to keep asking. So what he would do is he would just call people up and take them out to lunch and ask them questions. And he went across the sciences, models, Fidel Castro, which is one of the funniest stories because it was not one of his shining moments, but it was definitely one of the shining moments in the book for me, because it showed he was willing to reveal the parts that worked and the parts that didn't. But this is what I thought about. Yes, you can be him, and my business leader clients can be them, and they can start using this technique to build their business communities. But what about the school teachers who are dissatisfied with the system and who feel really heart-wrenched that the system's not working and the kids aren't being educated? What if you took a coffee break or a Saturday afternoon and went and asked the people who were running the programs you are impressed with, or who run schools that you are impressed with. What makes your program different? How do you think I could implement it into my life? It's that we all have to begin to believe we have this power.
And so how do you define success?
Well, for me, I went around it the very, very hard way. As a child, and straight through, well through 40, it was money. I make no bones about it. I think life with money is better than life without money, and I've never had life with totally no money, but I'm telling you, anyone, no, I am not the person you want to work with if having financial achievement as part of your livelihood. I'm just not that person. However, money without human connection and deep bonds of love has no meaning at all. And it's not coming to mind who actually said this, but within the last 6 months, the line that at the end of your life, what you have will go to everybody else. Who you have become gets to go with you.